Welcome to the fans perspective. Sorry that we've been a little bit delayed. Your boy was under the weather, under the bed, just completely. But hopefully you all had a,
Down bad.
you feel me? Hopefully everyone had a great Christmas, good holiday season. Chris, man, how you been?
Been excellent, man. Had a beautiful holiday with the family. Had an opportunity to watch some amazing basketball on Christmas. And so all has been well, man. I'm glad that you're feeling better. Glad that we're able to get back to it.
Yes, man. And again, looking forward to giving some good content, great content for you all next year. So there's some stuff Chris and I are working on that, man. We can't wait to share with you
Nice.
guys coming up here. But speaking of Christmas games, Chris, dude, I wish this is random, my fault, but I wish they would bring back the Christmas jerseys. I don't know
Man, I
what is
saw.
so difficult about that. Like,
Yep.
what's the hold up? Was it a money thing? Was it the jersey sales weren't high? I always feel like the Christmas jersey was always like a staple, and I don't know what when do we go away from it? Why we went away from it? Do you think they'll end up bringing it back at some point in time?
I think they should. I think that's part of the nostalgia that, we as millennial fans and fans who are a little bit older miss. And then this younger generation,
Yeah.
they have an affinity for nostalgia. And so bring back not only the Christmas jerseys, but I kind of would like to see them bring back the you wear your own home jersey or away jersey in All-Star
Stars,
games too.
facts.
Yeah, that was such a vibe.
I thought they would have done something like that, especially with kind of the new media and all this stuff coming back, NBC. I'm like, you know what? They'll probably bring
Right.
some other traditional things back as well, and they just haven't done it yet. So hopefully they're like waiting to kind of roll out the carpet. They got the new All-Star format, which I'm not a fan of. I don't like how you're kind of just putting in people with the USA, the world. Like just bring it back. East West. Individual jerseys, like let people earn it from the conference. If you play in a tougher conference and it's a lot of guards or it's guard heavy, so what? It's what you in that monster of a
Yeah, it
conference.
is what it is.
It is what it is. If the East is weaker than the West, so what? It is what it is. Like, but I hope that we can get back to some of those little things, bro, from a traditional standpoint, because I would like to see it at this point now. I guess I'm being an old head. Want some of this old stuff back. But
No, man, I think
um,
that contributes to the essence of the game,
yeah. No, it
you
does.
know.
Speaking of Christmas Day, we had some really good matchups, but there's one matchup, man, I really want us to talk about, which we've been talking about Spurs and Thunder for a while. Individually we have, and now we've had the opportunity to watch these guys play three times, and Spurs have had their number all three times. Do you think this is really an opportunity that Spurs are looking at this saying, you know what, we truly believe that we can beat them in a 7 game series? And do you think that the Spurs can really beat them in a 7 game series?
Well, I definitely think the former is true. I think led by Victor's confidence, that's a team that believes that they're not only capable of competing in the future, but are capable of competing right now. And I think that that was displayed by the way that they played against OKC in Christmas. In addition to all the other games that they've beat OKC, I mean, they've been dominant in those matchups, man. And so
All 15 plus
I'm
points.
excited to see. Yeah, I mean, they're a really good team, and I think better than any other team in the league, they match up with OKC really well.
And it's about matchups, what you just said. And one of the most underrated things that I love about this matchup is that Spurs hate OKC. Like Wemby hates Chet. You can see it. You can hear the talk. I heard Keldon Johnson calling them frauds after the second time they beat them. And we need that. We need a healthy. I'm not gonna call it a rivalry because we know like a rivalry. You got to have some time built in with some battles,
Right.
mainly playoff battles. You can't just win in some regular season games and call yourself a rivalry. But I'm glad that they got that animosity towards each other because we're gonna need that viewership in the playoffs. I'm tired of seeing all the buddy buddy. There's nothing wrong with being cool. Like you guys are gonna do that regardless. You all got businesses together now. The NBA, that landscape of off the court, what you do is just differently. But I'm cool with the beef.
Yeah.
This all on the
This is
court. Like, what's ain't this hoop? Ain't this
yeah.
basketball, bro? Like,
And that's a part
come
of
on
any
now.
competitive ecosystem. That's what makes it what it
In
is.
any, bro, any. I think the women's man, they get a little bit more. kind of
A lot
in
more
that
animosity and
competitive mode
drama. Yep.
a little bit more nowadays than what it used to be from like NBA. But we need it, man. It's part of the game. Like I saw Katie, him and Bruce Brown got into it, and he was like, "Yeah, I crossed the
Yep.
line." Like it's, but yes, that's it is okay. Like we need guys to be able to entertain and talk and do all that, right? Like
And
I'm
every
tired of this. Like we just get buckets and we just quiet and we just go dress. We do fashion. Like no, like this is part of the game. Like talking is part of the game.
and every now and then it may escalate to somebody like Jose Alvarado hitting you with the
Um,
right hand hook. Every now and then it might escalate to that. But that's part of the
did
game,
you?
right?
He's been doing this all year long, and I don't know why he does this with taller players. Like I don't know. I don't even know what Mark Williams said, but I'm like, what made? Because Jose kind of like walked away, walked back to him. Like he must have
Yeah,
said something
he
slick. He must have said something slick.
it didn't even feel like he it felt unprovoked. I think for whatever reason Jose must have a grievance against just taller players. I don't know if he has a little
Yeah,
man
short man
complex,
complex.
but
Yeah,
I thought
something.
that I thought the confrontation was hilarious. And again, it just speaks back to the competitive nature that I think has been consistent throughout this season. From from week one, it has
Mhm.
been this very heavy competitive energy, and I love it.
Agreed. NBA Cup was a success. Something they talked about was possibly moving some of the semi cup games. So instead of like, I know the last four games were played in Vegas, they're now talking about possibly moving those last, not the last four games, but when you get to the semis, I think those games will be at whatever the home team is.
Okay,
And or they also mentioned about possibly putting those games on like college campuses.
like a
And
neutral
from
site.
someone like a neutral site, but for someone who has been 2 years straight to the NBA Cup, I like it in Vegas. I'm not a huge, I don't think, here's my only issue with Vegas. Vegas is a good place to go to, especially if I'm a player, right? You don't get to play there all year. If you are a rookie, you play there over the summer, but if you're a vet, you ain't played there probably since your rookie year in summer league. So it is a good place to where if you want to just go watch basketball in a space where you can be entertained, right? Everyone wants to go to Vegas and enjoy the time there. And in December, it was nice out. But just as far as the atmosphere, like it being exciting, things of that nature, to me, it wasn't like because Vegas doesn't have a team. So like you don't have the same like fans as like the New York Knicks fans and Spurs. And granted, they travel and they definitely travel well. I think Knicks and Spurs fans, they both did a hell of a job of showing up for the NBA Cup. But I hope they don't move it to a college campus. But that would be kind of nice to see from a fan perspective or engagement. I think those college kids just come there and really make it a different type of atmosphere. But I don't know. The cup was pretty good, and I like what Nick did.
Also, too.
I think Mike Brown, he's being a very underrated coach right now.
Yep.
He's completely changed how the Knicks team look, and currently right now they're my pick to come out in the East
I echo that sentiment. I think that Mike Brown should also be in the Coach of the Year contention. He,
for sure,
alongside JB Bickerstaff, should be two people who should be front runners for that award. And the
easily.
Knicks have created and have evolved into a completely new identity, especially on offense. They are a team now who orients themselves around pace and around moving the ball and having a high assist, percentage and getting the best shots available. And Jalen Brunson, I mean, he's top five in MVP voted for a reason. I mean, the way that he's performing, particularly in the clutch, is MVP worthy.
And I've been impressed with him. It seems like he has fit into this Mike Brown system well, was while still being able to play his game, being able to be a little bit ball dominant. But he has moments where he's getting off the ball,
Yep.
or he's trusting. To me, it seems like he's trusting guys a lot more. Like Tyler Kolek, Mike
That's a good
Brown was talking about him
revelation.
the other. Mike Brown was talking about him the other night. He came in the game and he was 3 for 10. I think a couple of nights ago. And to me, that was like a game where I feel like Tibbs would have kept him on the bench in the second half. Mike Brown kept him in, let him go, went 6 for 12 in the second half. I think finished like 11 rebounds, 8 assists, something like that. But that's the type of coach that I think that Knicks roster needs. That's the type of coach that City needs. And I'm not gonna lie, bro. I wouldn't put New York as an out to also be champions because they're not going to have to go through the same gauntlet that those teams in the West are going to have to go through because that's going to be a bloodbath. Like this,
Woo.
those teams are going to hurt each other. They're already kind of banged up at the moment as we've seen. We'll probably talk about some of these injuries that we've seen here coming up. But yeah, I do think that the Knicks can win a championship. I'm curious to see what moves like Detroit makes. If they're probably a piece or two away, similar to what. And I want to get your thoughts, bro, to see what do you think Detroit needs. It's almost like they're in a situation similar to what Dallas was when
Yeah.
Nico went and grabbed um, PJ Washington and Daniel Gafford. But I think Detroit needs a little bit more firepower because you don't have like the same tandem as Luca and Kyrie from a scoring perspective. But what's your thoughts on Detroit? Do you think Detroit can make a real push? Do you think they're gonna make some moves before the trade deadline?
Well, I mean, we talked at length, even outside of the podcast, at how much potential Detroit has, and how,
Yeah.
again, like you said, they're a piece away, and I think that that piece is a secondary scoring option. You know, I articulated it a few episodes ago uh, about them potentially exploring the idea of getting somebody like Trey Young, but moving off from that idea, I think you got to take a look over at Sacramento. I mean, they have three guys who have been all-star caliber players at some point in their career. I would even explore or bringing a guy like Zach LaVine in, who brings you not only size and can add to that length and the athleticism that they have defensively, but also somebody who can easily get you 25 to 30 night in and night out and take some of the pressure off. And so that would be somebody I would maybe consider exploring. Um, I don't know how it matches contractually, but I think Detroit also has a few young pieces and maybe some second round picks that they could explore putting in a package for a guy like Zach LaVine.
Yeah, like it's kind of weird right now, man. The trade deadline, and I know it's coming up. It seems very stale. And it just seems that way. I feel like because of the CBA, these players' contracts, a lot of these players got some hefty contracts, and I think it's kind of hard to get some of these contracts moved off of. Like Zach Levine's contract is pretty hefty,
Yeah.
and I think he has a couple years left. I know there's talks now with Anthony Davis. His
Yep.
contract is hefty. It's like, do you really want to take that on? And if you're a contending team, you're talking about guys who are in their latter years and they're making a lot of money. So it's like, do I really want to make this leap? Like, I don't think Spurs go after Giannis. I think that conversation is dead. Um, like honestly, bro, I don't know exactly where Detroit can go. I'm not mad at Zach Levine to Detroit, but I just have to see how long his contract. If he has a year left, I think that can make sense. But if he has like 2 or 3 years left, I don't know. Depending on who you have to give up for him, but yeah, I think they're in desperate need of some firepower, and maybe they just kind of take the Thunder route. I think it's NBA's like in a weird spot. But I'm just waiting on at least one domino to fall from the trade deadline. I think Giannis may be the one, but I also think I'm just tired of hearing about Giannis and
Yeah.
trade rumors. I'm just like, I'm just over it at this point. Um, and just kind of see what happens there. But kind of moving over to the West Coast, bro. Again, I know we've talked about OKC and San Antonio Spurs. They're still at the top of those. The Western Conference, I think they'll probably finish like that. But you got a couple of dark horses that may kind of creep up in there if they can get healthy. One being in Denver. Denver, I'm
Let's do
still,
it.
I picked Denver to win the championship. I'm still keeping that pick. I'm still keeping that pick in Denver.
Yep.
Joker is probably about to win MVP. I think I called for him as well. So I think they're going to forget the voter fatigue and they're just going to pick Joker again because deservingly so. He's playing lights out and playing like he's supposed to be in the top 10 of all time right now, the way he's playing. Um, do you think Denver will be able to be healthy in the
And that's their
playoffs to
lingering
be able to
concern.
get back to
I
that
think that is the
mountaintop?
only thing that's preventing them from almost being potentially a shoe in for at least competing for the Western Conference Finals. To your point, yeah, I mean, Jokic is
because
playing
they should be.
otherworldly right now. I mean, he had 55, 15, and 15 the other night, which is the
Mhm.
first time anybody's ever had 50, 15, and 15 in NBA history. And the way he does it and the consistency in which he's able to affect all facets of the game, particularly on offense, it's just something we've never seen before. I doubt
Yep.
that he will receive a unanimous MVP vote, but the level of dominance in which he's playing would almost warrant it. Like it should almost warrant it.
It should.
Unfortunately, though, I
It
still don't think
should.
it'll be enough if they're not fully healthy in order to get past OKC and potentially even San Antonio, the way that they're
No,
playing.
and it's correct. Yeah, because I don't. I'm concerned with the Nuggets because now you're in a dangerous territory because
Yep.
Aaron Gordon has dealing with that quad, I think, that hamstring, that the same, no, excuse me, I think was the same one he dealt with in the playoffs. And I don't know if that just goes away. Like to me, this sounds like something that's going to bother him the rest of his career. Hopefully not. I'm not wishing that on Aaron Gordon because we love him and he is one of my favorite players who has turned his game around. Like him, Al Horford, like those are guys who completely transform their game to stay relevant in today's style of play and what they're doing now. I think not Jamal Crawford, Jamal Murray. He's somebody else who just I don't think is ever going to fully be healthy. I think he's always going to battle this injury bug. And it's almost like, how much longer do you try this out? To me, it feels like this is probably their last year of saying either if we're not healthy, you probably
Ooh.
move on from Aaron Gordon and Jamal Murray because they got their contracts. Jamal's is hefty, but I think you got to get to a point. If you can't get it done this year, you can't continue to waste what Joker's doing
Yeah.
and sending him out there by himself in the playoff over the last couple years. You can't keep doing that to him. So.
Mm.
Um, I don't know. Hopefully, they get healthy. You think they'll end up probably moving on
I
next
don't
year
know,
as well, or
man.
do you think they'll
I
probably
tend to
try to hang
be a
tight?
little more reserved when it comes to breaking up championship cores. I was already um, kind of taken aback when they moved on from guys like Atavius Caldwell Pope, Bruce Brown from the that initial championship team. Now, luckily, they were able to develop
That hurt
Peyton
him. Yes.
Watson and Christian Braun and to fill in some of those roles, but got Bruce back. AG
Got
stepped up
Bruce
a little
back.
bit. So
Cam Johnson, Tim Hardaway.
you have to consider it because, to your point, you don't want to waste Jokic, this prime that he's in right now. And we also don't know how much security you have in Jokic's health. With his usage, he's still playing 82 games, and somebody who typically plays all season. He doesn't miss much. It's still also a lot to ask of him as well. So, yeah, I think to your point, you have to consider it,
Yep.
but
A whole
it's
lot.
tough, man. Trying to constantly keep rebuilding championship contending rosters is a huge ask, especially with the current CBA format.
I, and that's the ish. That is the issue, bro. Because now it's like you only got these windows of being able to retain a team if you didn't bring them all in here and you got them young and they're on like these contracts, like. If they didn't miss certain accolades to where you didn't have to pay them this threshold of a max contract, like if it's not that, like because
Yep.
Joker is going to get another max, super max to be exact. That contract's, I think the one he's on now is he's probably making like 65, 70, like he's probably on that scale. But I don't know how much longer you're able to keep Jamal and Aaron. And again, I'm huge fans of them both. I think they've kept them, and I would say if they are traded next year or they move on from them, I think you have maximized your window with them. I don't think you actually. I
Mm,
don't think this is like the same situation as Jason Tatum and Jalen Brown. Jalen Brown and Jason
right.
Tatum are still very, very young, entering their primes, and I still think you got some time left with those guys. I think it's different with Jamal and Aaron. Jamal because of the injury.
But
Aaron Gordon
Jamal
is
with the
getting a
injury
little.
history,
He's not
correct.
old, but he's getting older now. And the type of injuries the type of injuries they are having, it's
And
like
compounded with the kind of players
it
they are.
sucks. Um, but
Well, both of those
hopefully they can figure it
guys,
out.
a large part of the game is oriented on being
Yes,
able to, you know, attack, create gravity into the defense, especially Jamal. And so, yeah, man, with injuries like those that they continue to, deal with, yeah, I'm with you. You got to make some decisions.
it's gonna be tough, man. Houston Rockets, man, the number four in the Western Conference.
Yeah, get on
Um,
them.
I'm not I'm not fully sold on Houston just yet. I like what I'm seeing, but it still just looks to me too much KD. Like we need KD in order for us to win, and it's
Mm.
to me it looks like whenever he is kind of eliminated a little bit, I'm not fully sold on how they look. Not just yet. Do I think they can get there? Do I still think they need a point guard? Yes. Like I would shop for somebody like a Dennis Schroeder. I wouldn't go get Chris Paul. I still think you need some firepower at the
Yep.
point, but I will go get somebody like a Dennis Schroeder if you don't feel confident that Fred can come back and be a shell of himself for a little bit. But I would
I
try to
think
get
that's the right
someone like
idea.
Dennis there. What's
I
your
think
thoughts
it's
on Houston,
evident that
man?
they still need a point guard. This experiment has been a joy to watch from a basketball and from a fan perspective. It's the first time I've ever seen a team roll out a lineup of essentially 6'8" plus at all positions. And it's the first time I've ever seen a team
Yeah,
explore essentially playing Kevin Durant at the two, which is basically what he is. Um, yeah, he's just a 7 foot two
that's what
guard.
he came in the league as
But
too.
and we talked about this before.
Yeah,
When you start talking about being able to run half court structure and being able to get the best shot available possession by possession, you need a point guard, particularly somebody who has had experience, who's veteran led,
yeah.
who's been a lead guard before. And I think Dennis Schroeder would be an ideal candidate to step in and fill that role for Houston. He's not particularly expensive, and what you're going to get back will be commensurate to whatever you pay. Dennis is somebody who can also be a second, third scoring option. So,
Correct.
I yeah, I think Houston is desperate
Low risk, high
for
reward.
just a steady, consistent lead guard to pair with Kevin Durant, and then to take some of the ball handling pressure off of the mid. Because as much as they want him to be the point guard of this team, he's not a point guard, and I absolutely hate watching him drive to
It's
the
just
paint
not.
possession after possession and just get stuck and try to jump pads and figure out something to do. Thank God he got a 40 plus inch vertical, or else it
Yeah.
would just be turnover after turnover.
He's still, yeah, because
And
he's
I don't
not
understand.
confident
Even at
like
the
it seems
mid
like in
range,
none of his
even if you blow
shots.
past the initial defender and get to the elbow, you don't want that shot.
Yep, like he's like he's athletic enough. He's always getting past people, but he
Yeah, I'm gonna
gets there.
let
and
you, I'm
it's
gonna
like
live
sometimes they're
with
letting him
whatever
like,
decision you're gonna make
you ain't gonna
after
take
you're
this
now
shot. Like
stuck.
go
So,
ahead,
but
go ahead. Yeah,
oh my god, yeah,
but if he gets any type of jump shot, oh my God, if he gets any type of jump shot, he's going to be scary,
yeah,
man. But
that's
that's gonna take some work. Because if you're not taking it now, especially when you have a green light, to me, any player in the NBA, like when I saw with Ben Simmons, if you have
yeah,
a green light and you are not taking shots, to me, it's very concerning. Now, the good part with a man is he's healthy, doesn't have the issues, so he's going to be a defender, he's going to slash, and to me,
right.
he still is like a high IQ young player. He's not a high IQ point guard. To me, he's like a younger version of like a Josh Hart, but more athletic. Like to me, that is his mold
Absolutely.
right now. Now, do I think he could be something better if he gets a jump shot? His ceiling is incredible if he can get a jump shot. It don't even got to be the 3 point yet. Get the midi, get a floater, get some of those little buckets because you're always going to be able to live past the 3 point line. But if you don't take the shots, it doesn't matter that you
Yeah, and
can
it
live
just collapse the
past
paint.
that line because in the playoffs they're going to eliminate that. They're going to collapse the paint. They're going to sag off for you on almost every single play. And now you're going to be almost unplayable in the time
Yep.
where they still need you on the court because of what you bring defensively. Um, so Houston's gonna be tricky, man. I'm gonna have to keep my eye on them, see if they make any moves before the trade deadline. But I still like what I'm
Yeah.
seeing. I'm not mad. They're still 22. They're 19 and 10 in the Western Conference, holding the 4 seed. I'm not mad at it. Lakers, man. It's been I hate to say, man, I think not think, man, there's been a lot of things that you've been right about with the Lakers. One thing we both share the same sentiment about Luca and how he plays his play style. Like, I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. I think we're entering a territory with Luca where we may have some really tough conversations about
Yep.
his playing style and not in a good way. Like people killed James Harden for, oh, he doesn't play defense, he doesn't do this, and I'm like, I feel like James Harden gave a lot more effort on defense than what Luca does, and people don't want to admit it. But Nico deserves a lot of
Correct.
credit for the team he built around Luca. Like y'all forgot he did that trade in
Yep.
season the year they went to the finals to get PJ Washington and Daniel Gafford. That was a mid-season trade. I feel like we hadn't seen an impact like that since Detroit when they did their
Mm-hmm.
mid-season trade and got Rasheed Wallace and then went and won it all. But Luca's effort on defense is atrocious. Austin Reeves doesn't like he can guard still.
Mm-hmm.
LeBron is just actually showing his age. So like it's what we talked about, bro. It's like I don't want to blame LeBron because I expect him to look the way he looks right now, to be honest with you. This is expected. Now the
Correct.
problem is the expectation and the money
Correct.
does not does not match up, and that's what we gotta have now. Tougher conversations about LeBron in this roster construction, because even JJ said yesterday, like since LeBron has came back, we haven't been able to get into an offensive
Mm.
flow. So to my question I got for you, Chris, what do you do if you're in the front office in the
Well,
LA
first
with
of
the
all, I
Los
think you
Angeles
have to give
Lakers? What do you
LeBron an
do with this
ultimatum.
team?
And I think the discussion is this is going to be your last season or
You
we're
may
going
have
to
to.
release you. Respectfully. And because you're LeBron James, the last thing we want to
Yeah.
do is release you. And now you're ending a 23-year career as a free agent, right? Because that wouldn't be appropriate. But what
Yeah.
can be yeah. But what can be apropos is we can
Hey, just tell
either
us where you want to go.
explore trade options right now for both you and your son. Because let's be fair, I don't know what genuine investment they have in developing Bronny, and
Yeah.
I don't know if he can grow beyond what his floor is. And let's just be real. Um, but if that's not something you're interested in doing, then I think we need to start preparing your farewell tour for this season. Because to your point, at that price point, we're not getting anything from you. And if we're just going to have you stand in a corner and lollygag on defense, we could at least have someone who's much younger and much cheaper do it.
Because you can't build the pieces now that you really do
If
need to
that's,
hide Luca. Because you need
you're going
pieces
to
to
have to
hide
hide him.
Luca. If Luca's going to be your franchise guy, you need players that are going to be able to hide him. Now you can't do that
Correct.
with LeBron on your roster because he makes $50+ million, and that is about two players, two really good players that you can have on your roster that can help be in rotations. Because right now, Lakers rotation, and honestly, I give JJ a lot of credit for how they've worked this out so far. Because I also don't
Yeah, I
believe
mean,
in
he
Rich
wasn't
Paul.
off
I
base when he
don't think
said
they
that.
have a good roster. He was not. I'm
Now,
like, I was thinking, I said, man,
what he didn't
he ain't
mention
lying. Like,
is
I'm
how
not a
much
huge
his
fan of this
client may
roster.
contribute to how underwhelming the
Hmm.
roster may be, right? Because in addition to the amount of
Correct
money
to
he
how
makes,
bad they're
he
up.
also has a huge
Boom.
voice and say and who's brought to
Yeah.
every team that LeBron has ever been a part of, right? And so, yeah, like that's part of it.
Yeah. Like, don't leave
But
that
beyond
out.
that, I think the second conversation you have to have is with
Mm.
AR. Because if you're going to be the second guy on this team, you're going to have to
Yep.
give the Lakers the same thing that Jalen Williams gives OKC. You had Jalen or AR.
Is he a true number two?
I think he is moonlighting as a number
No,
two
also AR.
because of the current roster construction and because I mean, right now, who else can really provide them, 25, 26 some points a game the way he's able to? I don't know if
Yeah,
that's
he's
his
having an
actual
all-star season
identity.
right
I don't
now.
know if he
AR
played
is.
for uh, Miami. I, I mean, I don't know. Maybe. But
if he's
for the time
still.
being, and for someone who wants to step into being second or getting a second guy type of pay, you got to give us more on both ends of the floor. And I'm not expecting you to be Jalen Williams in terms of, um, having the kind of defensive bandwidth and flexibility that Jalen Williams does. But I do expect you to put a far greater effort in what it is that you're doing defensively. Or
Yeah, number twos come at a price, not just come at a price now, but like
you
to your
have to.
point, they gotta be you gotta be dynamic as a number two guy on the roster. You gotta be dynamic on like I'm just trying to think about like all these teams who have like good number twos. Like you think about New York, you got Jalen Brunson and Cat. Cat's gonna rebound, Cat's gonna get you points. He's gonna foul in defensive, but he's gonna give you effort. You're not going to have that question. You don't question
Right.
Boston's big two, Jason Tatum and Jalen Brown. OKC, you don't question those two. Spurs, I don't know who your two is yet. It's probably De'Aaron Fox and Wemby. I know I'm never going to like Fox has always been a solid player on
Right.
both sides of the court. He's just been in a shitty system in Sacramento. So
Outside of health,
Denver,
yeah, outside of health.
health is the only thing that you question.
And if it's going to be
Houston, you don't
Alperen
have a two,
Sengun,
but
I'm
all of them
certainly
play
not questioning
defense.
him.
So he's going. I'm not questioning him. Minnesota, same with them. So the teams at the top, you're not questioning the teams who have like true number two options. Even Orlando, like
Or
I'm looking at
Franz
like
Wagner.
Paolo and Desmond Bain. They're to a lesser, they're to a lesser degree of Luca as far as like being a number one, but like I still
Right.
trust those guys on both ends of the floor with effort. Um, and yeah, I just think that pairing with AR and Luka, man, I don't know. I feel like you have a little bit more of a better insight on how you've been viewing them because I feel like you probably watched them a little bit more than me as well. But so you do think that AR can still be there,
No,
but
you
of
can't
course
keep
you're not
LeBron.
gonna be able to keep
You
LeBron
can't
if
keep
you're gonna
LeBron,
play
period.
AR.
And I'm not saying this with a blasphemous tone, and I'm not dismissing
No.
who he is or his legacy. I am being very objective, and I'm speaking with a
Mm,
managerial tone. You cost too much to be this underwhelming, and particularly because you're LeBron, right? You are supposed to be someone who we consider in
yeah.
the GOAT conversation. So I think that there is a standard that he has to maintain, and a standard that, quite frankly, you should be holding your teammates accountable and raising their standard of play too. And that doesn't seem like that's happening either. And so yeah,
Yeah.
it's time for the Lakers to turn a corner and to start looking towards the future and the now.
And for our audience, yes, and for our audience, the way we're talking about LeBron
Correct.
is because it's also situational. Because if he's in a situation like what Kobe was at the tail end of his career, where he had nobody on his team and it's just him, cool, keep LeBron. Why would I get rid of him? This is the only thing I have that's attractive to his team. But because you have Luca, because you have someone that has shown
Yep.
promise in AR,
Yep.
you have to look at LeBron differently. This can't be just we're happy farewell tour. Like, no, you brought JJ in here to help get you a championship. You brought Luca here to get championships. If that's not aligned with keeping LeBron and thinking
You
that you
got
can
decisions to make.
compete for a championship
You
while
got
he's on the
decisions to make.
roster, what are you still doing with LeBron on the team? And again, it's no knock to him. It's no knock to him. It's no knock to his game, his legacy, what he's done. We're not pushing LeBron out. It has to be Luca team. And
Correct.
unfortunately, if Luca played
Because I mean,
defense, we probably aren't even having this conversation,
and that's
Chris.
a large, and that's
We
a
probably could
big part
avoid
of
the
it too, man. And I'm
conversation.
not trying to saddle LeBron with all of the responsibility, right? The fact of the matter is, yes, Luca has a responsibility to be more active defensively, right? But I mean, we all knew that,
Yep.
and Nico Harris's defense, that's part of why he moved on Luca. So he wasn't wrong.
That's what he said.
Here it is manifesting itself in real
Yeah.
time. So I think the Lakers
Yeah.
have a lot of decisions to make. I don't expect them to make it past even maybe even the first round of the playoffs, especially if they run up against a young athletic team. Even if you, yeah,
They gotta play the Spurs or something like that, or even Denver. If Denver is healthy, and
it's
they
not
gotta
much
play
you're gonna be able to
Denver.
do.
It's lights out. Any of
It's
those
gonna be
top three
rough.
teams, if they gotta bump into them,
It's gonna
Spurs,
be rough.
Thunder, Denver, or Houston, if Lakers gotta play any of them first round, it's over. Your top three players cannot be. They can't play as bad on defense as they have as your top
No,
three players on your team. They can't play that bad. Not in the Western Conference. Maybe able to get away with it in the East. You ain't getting away with it in the Western Conference. So, man, before we wrap, is there any trades that you think that are going to happen if you're putting on your magician hat, your seeing in the future? Is there anyone that you see that gets moved um before the deadline of February?
I don't know, man. It's tough. It's tough. I only say that because there feels like there is an asterisk next to every guy who we expect to get moved before the trade deadline. When you talk about Giannis, obviously the money has to work, and I don't know how many teams contractually can make it work.
It
Anthony
ain't a lot of
Davis,
team know
if
where that
I
money
were
works.
GM, I would still have some reservation about trading for him because he's so injury prone.
I wouldn't dare. And I don't see why he's even like to me, how the people are talking about like Trey Young. I would be talking
Y'all gonna
about
have to
80
figure
like
that
that. I'm
out.
not trading for Anthony Davis. Unless I can guarantee unless I can guarantee to get to the playoffs and he's
No.
going to be there, but that's not a high
Yeah, likewise
chance.
with someone younger
I'd rather go gamble
with less
my
injury
money
history and who's cheaper. So I don't know
and
exactly
develop
where
them.
somebody like Anthony
Uh,
Davis can land. It felt like, or it feels like, trade talks
feel me?
about or regarding John Morant have quieted a bit. I would imagine Memphis is probably still in the market for moving him, but I haven't heard anything as of late. But I would like to see Sacramento and some of those guys who are on that team make some move or get moved because I think that they have three or four different pieces who could contribute and help other
Oh,
teams.
please,
And I
please,
think
God,
Sacramento
please
probably should be in the
get rid of
hunt
that
for
team.
draft capital. They need to be in the space of rebuilding. They need to position themselves similar to Brooklyn has. And so if I were Sacramento, I'd be offloading Zach LaVine, DeMar DeRozan, and DeMontis Sabonis. Yeah, it really. Yeah, Russ too. I mean, everybody
Everybody
should
can
be
go.
available.
Russ, I love you. You gone. Everybody,
So
everybody's available. Y'all can call me if y'all need
yeah,
somebody
but
just
if you just
to
need me to
play
fill
for some
in,
millions. We ain't
I
gonna win a
got you,
game,
and I
but
can help.
we gonna
There you
lose.
go.
We gonna
There you go.
lose, and we gonna
So
get y'all a top
anytime
draft
y'all
pick.
just give the fan perspective a call,
I can
bro.
help y'all out tremendously.
But yeah, it'll be interesting to see.
So, no man, that's Sacramento, to your point, I was kind of gearing towards them. Hopefully, they get some pieces moved, and then I want to see James Harden out
Good
of
pull.
LA. I don't think it seems like Clippers are staying bound to them, but I feel like I may have said it on here. I want to see
I'm
James
not
Harden
mad at
in
that.
Minnesota. I really want to see him in Minnesota. Like I want to get the ball out of Ant's hands a little bit.
He is,
Um,
especially
James
as a
Harden is
playmaker.
still really dynamic, bro. Oh my goodness. He is still so dynamic.
They're another
There's a
one.
lot of teams that like Houston could use James Harden right now. Like I know we said
It's no
Dennis
question.
Schroeder, but if you
A
can get
nice
James
return
Harden,
home.
and you can't tell me
He
he
gonna
ain't gonna
play
go
with
to,
KD again.
bruh, you can't tell me he ain't
Come
gonna
on,
go there
bro.
and turn the clock back.
And they're a team
Him and K,
that
bro.
also has the defensive pieces where you don't have to ask James Harden to do a lot. Yeah,
And James is still gonna buckle
he's
down on
become
defense. Like I
a
will say, it
better,
seems
more
like since he's
consistent.
gotten
Yeah, I
older,
would totally agree
it
with that.
seems
I
he's
would
been
totally
more of
agree
a
with that.
willing defender. He's been a more because I saw it a lot in Philly, and I'm like, no, something like James Harden out here defending. He's been more of a willing defender. But again, I love James because he's from that
Yep.
same cloth and mold as, your Kobe's, your Rush, KD, Steph, where they just love hoop. And he's like, I'm not leaving this
Mm,
game. Like I'm still James Harden. Like I still got a lot left to give.
yeah.
But James is he's the one I want to see moved. Like I hope he gets moved. I think any team that gets him that's in the top
Elevation to
six
a
on either
championship
side of the
contending team for
conferences,
sure. For
you can do
sure.
some. You can do some if Detroit wanted to step in and say, "Cool, we got assets." Because Clippers right now, you've already helped. You're probably pissing the league off
Right.
because you're about
Right.
to give OKC AJ DeBanster probably, or Darren Peterson the way it looks. And you all gotta do something. Try to savor the season. Get some guys who's going to compete because that's what you just need. Guys that can compete, get some wins. But yeah, hopefully James Harden gets
I
moved.
love that
He's the
idea.
guy I want to see get traded, get somewhere where he can try to close out his career these later years and compete for a championship. Not chase,
Yeah, I
but
love that
at least be
idea.
able to compete for a championship. So cool. Cool. Well, again, fans perspective family, we appreciate y'all. I hope you all have a fantastic close of the year and a happy new year. Stay safe. And we will see you all here very soon and going into the new
Man, I
year.
appreciate y'all tapping in.
Chris,
Continue to like,
anything you got for
comment,
the
and
people?
subscribe to the pod. I know that we were gone for a little bit, but look forward to a big
Yes,
2026.
yes,
We got some good interviews coming, some good content coming, so we're excited, man.
yes. Perfect. Come on back. And again, we
Yeah.
love y'all. Enjoy the holidays and happy new year. See y'all.
Yeah.
Cool.